Happy birthday for the December Sagittarius. Welcome to your love and romance reading for December 2021. This is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and yes, of course, Venus, my darlings. I know a lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love and romance, so I always include or set that intention as well. If you don't like love readings, you're like, oh my god, another love reading. I do weekly forecasts on my channel where I discuss everything other than love. But once a month, I like to do a reading where we focus just on love and romance. So we're going to see what's happening here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. First card coming up for you, my darlings, is the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords traditionally can indicate that some of you might be dealing with a younger air sign person. So that could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Pages can sometimes also indicate that there's some message that's coming to you or news that's coming to you. So maybe you've been waiting to kind of, hash out a plan with somebody or figure out what the next steps are going to be. Page of Swords can absolutely indicate that there's some kind of news coming your way. However, in my experience over the years reading for people, in a love reading, Page of Swords comes up a lot of the times when you have someone that they're kind of like in the shadows, like trying to get information about you. Like they want to approach you, they want to try to get with you, but they're trying to figure out what to say, how to come up with a plan. And sometimes I've seen the Page of Swords come up and I get a really strong vibe, I get a really strong feeling that I'm like, look, there's somebody on your social media that their profile looks really legit. Like they have a lot of friends, there are people on there talking to them like they know them, but it's a fake profile. It's somebody that you know with this fake profile that's made it into your social media, and they're trying to in a sneaky way get information from you. They're trying to figure out where your head and your heart is at, what you're looking for, what you want, what's going on in your life, It could be an ex, it could be somebody that you turned down in the past and you simply weren't interested, but they're still trying to say, okay, well, how can I come back another way? So anytime I see Page of Swords, I just tell people, be super, super cautious what you're sharing in your DMs on social media, or even what you're posting on your timeline or newsfeed or whatever it's called, because there could be somebody that's trying to get information. If you have somebody that has been persistently not wanting to let you go and you've moved on, you're happy, you're living your life, I definitely feel that there's new love energy coming in for a lot of Sagittarius, but be really cautious what you're posting on social media as far as, I'm not telling you to hide the new relationship, but I would definitely say do not post things in real time. Don't go on Instagram or Facebook and, post, at Starbucks on 12th Street with my new boo, because they might show up there and they might cause a scene, or they might kind of make problems. You can post it later, had a great time with, boo at Starbucks on 12th Street this afternoon or yesterday or whatever. You could post it later, but don't post things in real time. Don't post it in a way where they know where you're at that second or at that minute. Those of you who have somebody that just is not getting the clue, they're not getting it through their head that you don't want them anymore. If you have somebody like that in your life, make sure that you're not posting things in real time. Page of Swords, and then we'll move on real quick, also can come up when you're in a situation where you're being pushed to speak your truth. So a lot of you might be manifesting a new relationship here, or turning over a new leaf where this person is figuring out that you need to be heard, and they're creating a safe space in this relationship so that you can speak up. Don't wait until the last minute. Sagittarius, some of you are like, you know what? I don't want to seem like I'm drama. I don't want to make a big deal out of anything. I'll just let it go. It's not that big of a deal. But after the 11th time, you just are going to pop off. You can't take it anymore. So address it the first time. Address it when you can address it before it's built up and irritated you and it becomes a big deal. Nobody's going to think you're drama if you're just speaking up and saying, oh, you know what, I really don't like that, or I'm not comfortable with that, or I really kind of would prefer this or prefer that. Speak up in the moment. Don't let it build. The next card coming up here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus is the Seven of Wands. So a lot of you maybe can be a little bit frustrated with the speed that a relationship is coming in, or the speed or the rate that the relationship is going. You're maybe kind of like, I know what I want. I know that I deserve it. You've done your self-esteem work. You've done your shadow work. You've done your healing work. You're like, come on, let's go. What's the holdup? And so when this happens, some of you might be feeling like, you know, okay, well, what can I do? What can I change? Sagittarius, this isn't the time to go be all extra. Don't go give yourself an excessive, extreme makeover. Don't go do something completely opposite with your appearance, or don't try to, you know, put yourself out there in a different kind of way, or, you know, reinventing yourself, or, you know, kind of like changing your approach. Because when I see the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands is saying you're on good, solid ground. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep doing what you're doing. There's no need for anything extra right now. Trust in the process, trust in the speed, because then it's going to change things up. It's going to create all other kinds of variables. So just, you know, there's no need to be extra when we see the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is also going to be a good idea for you. I'm not going to tell you to hide your relationship, but there's going to be a lot of people like wanting to talk to you about it. Like, where is it going? What's going on with this person? What are they doing? What are they up to? And so this is coming up in a way or in a sense where it's like, you know, they don't need to know. Because for me, sometimes Seven of Wands is coming up because somebody has something in their head and they just want to steer you in that direction. They're going to act like they want to talk to you. They're going to act like, you know, maybe even they care what's going on. But they might feel like, well, I don't want Sagittarius to be in this relationship because they're going to be in a relationship and I'm still going to be single and they're not going to have time to spend with me. Or, oh, well, you're going to go have a relationship and you're going to leave the family and you're not going to have time for us and you're not going to help us financially. So they might have like some ulterior motive to put some poison in your ear, right? To make you kind of doubt the relationship or look down on the person, or, you know, make you feel like they don't really care about you. And I know it's a good idea a lot of the times that we want our friends and our family to give us opinions, but you know, Sagittarius, you know if you have a toxic family. You know if you have a family that's kind of, you know, sucking your energy all the time. So you should know the difference if this message applies to you or not. But some of you need to be really cautious that you might have somebody or people coming in and trying to get you to like forget about this relationship. Seven of Wands, also Sagittarius. I feel like for a lot of you, there may have been a lull in a relationship. You may have taken a stand and you feel like the person is backing down or changing their mind. I feel like if you stand your ground calmly, you're going to get your way. They're going to realize, okay, this is important to Sagittarius. Sagittarius set a boundary and I'm just going to have to respect this boundary. So I feel like your person's coming around. Those of you who've drawn a line or set some kind of a boundary. The next card that's coming in for you guys is the Devil. Now, some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn. Anytime I have major arcana cards come up in a reading, it tells me that this is a really significant connection. There's a lot of past life stuff happening here. There's a reason why you all have met. For me, when I see major arcana cards come in between two people, that is my guides and spirit's way of letting me know that you guys have a contract. You guys have an agreement that you met in this time for a specific reason, okay? And so the Devil card can be seen as lust, as greed, as selfishness, as a jealousy, as addiction. There are many, many layers. And this is a general reading, and you guys are dealing with your lessons in different ways. But for many of you, this could be someone who's coming in where it's causing you to face your fears, right? Maybe you have fears of being vulnerable. Maybe you have fears of letting somebody in. Maybe you have fears of, you know, including somebody in your life and in your decisions, you know, like, okay, well, if I'm in this relationship, then I can't just up and go whenever I want. You know, it could be fears of commitment, fears of settling down, fears of trusting. But as I'm looking at the Devil card, I'm getting a sense or a feeling of overcoming your fears. I also feel, Sagittarius, that for whatever reason, I'm getting a really interesting vibe from this Devil card. I'm not saying the person that you're dealing with is evil. Okay, I'm not saying that. But for something about it is making me think of, like, way back in Genesis when the devil took the form of the snake in the tree and was like, is it really so that you're not supposed to eat from the tree? Really? Really? Is that true though? Like, why? Why would you not be allowed to eat from the tree? Well, obviously it's because God knows that if you eat from the tree, you're going to know everything God knows, and God is jealous and wants to keep you down. And he kind of told these lies and said these things to get Eve to eat from the tree, right? So I feel like, not that this person is lying to you, but I feel like this person is really kind of like, they don't have your same way of looking at the world or looking at life, and they might be seeing you as, well, you're following the rules too much, or you're getting too hung up on details, and they might be trying to get you to see things in a different way. If you are on a spiritual path, this happens a lot of the times with light workers. They may end up in a really intense connection with someone on a spiritual path that might be working in darker energy. Now, it's not my place to tell you what you should do in that situation. I know there's a lot of people that argue and they say, oh, well, you have to incorporate light with the dark, but then that's a whole nother can of worms, because how dark are we talking? Okay, and what kind of energy are we talking? And it has many levels. It's a complex subject, and I'm not trying to turn your love reading into like a spiritual light versus dark breakdown here. But some of you may be having to make decisions here in terms of who you're aligning yourself with, or this relationship is causing you to decide how you're going to do your spiritual path, or which energies you're going to work with. I know I had that happen to me many years ago, not many, but less than a decade, but a while ago. And it kind of was what birthed what I'm doing now, what you guys are here for right now. So it's going to be for you to make a decision or make a stand. I feel like you're dealing with someone, and maybe it isn't even that extreme. It could just be somebody who's trying to like expand your thinking, and they might be testing your boundaries, especially with the Seven of Wands here. You don't have to get worked up. You don't have to get upset. You just have to hold the boundary. I just feel this person maybe kind of likes to see, you know, how far you'll go, or how far they'll be able to kind of nudge you along. I don't feel like it's a manipulative person. I don't feel like they're mean. I don't feel like they're controlling. I feel like they honestly believe that they're showing you light. I feel like they honestly believe that they're expanding your thinking. But it's up to you, Sagittarius, what resonates with you and what doesn't. Okay? But I do feel for some of you, you have someone that's really kind of trying to, pull you into like a less restricted way of life. The next card that's coming up here for you guys is the Empress. Now we have another major arcana. Oop. What happened? That was weird. Now we have another major arcana card. So when I have major arcana cards coming in back to back, it's big differences in a very short period of time. So this completely and totally changed the whole feeling for me of the Devil card when the Empress came in. I feel this thing about somebody pushing your boundaries. is gonna be applicable for only a certain group of the Sagittarius. And that's gonna be the group of the Sagittarius that you're in a relationship where maybe you're not able to walk away right now and your person knows it. And so they're kind of trying to see how far they can get you to give, or how far they can get you to, change, or, see things their way. So when I talk about not being able to walk away, maybe you're in a situation where this person is not being physically, mentally, or emotionally abusive. That's first and foremost the most important thing, because if there is abuse, you got to get the heck out of there. Okay, but let's just say that that's not the case, and that it's not anything extreme like that, but you just might be kind of unhappy. You're unhappy in the connection, you're unhappy in the relationship, but you got really young kids, and you guys need to be together, or you might have certain situations here around like finances where you can't just up and leave just yet, and they know that. Or it could be that you have a certain religion or a certain cultural background where it's like it can't happen. There's no way. Like there is no way, no possibility for separation or divorce. And you might be in that mindset where you're like, well, I can't leave. This is how it is. I feel for those of you that are in that situation, the Devil card and the Empress is very joyous for me, because it's giving me the sense or the feeling that even though you might feel like you're going to have to deal with this person in your life, right? Until the kids are 18, or until the money comes in or is better, or until you decide that you're going to move away from a certain community or leave a certain religious, organization or whatever it might be. You're like, I'm going to kind of have to be here for a while. But to me, the Devil and the Empress, it tells me that the Empress, like, you're coming into your power, right? And the beautiful thing about the Empress, she's powerful, she's respected, her word is law, but it's not in a mean way, right? It's not like the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, where she's running around and going, off with their heads, off with their heads. People aren't terrified of her, in that way. They genuinely respect her. They don't want to lose her favor. They would hate to fall from her good graces. And so they're very respectful, right? And she has authority and she has power, but she's also very gentle. She's also very beautiful. She's also very kind. She's also very nurturing. So here in this sense, I feel like there's this balance of power, right? There's this coexisting. You have your opinions, I have my opinions. This is your realm and this is my realm. That's your domain, this is my domain. There's like a drawing of lines where neither one is changing the other, but there's a fair shift of power, or there's a fair distribution of power. Those of you who are in a relationship that you can't quite leave. I also feel here with the Devil card being followed by the Empress, many of you might be healing from mother wound or mother issues, and you may be redefining what it is to be a woman, how it is to be a woman, or what kind of woman you want to be dealing with, or what kind of like coming more into that divine feminine energy, and away from like the cattiness or the jealousy or the gossiping or the manipulative aspects that sometimes people can see in lower vibrational feminine energy, but realizing that it doesn't have to be that way, right? That there's a sense of like an evolved femininity, an evolved feminine energy here with the Empress. The next, this can also for some of you be having children, or motherhood, stepping into the role of motherhood, or finding the mother of your children, because traditionally in tarot, the Empress can definitely be fertility, childbirth, and motherhood. Oh, well, look at this. The next card here is the Four of... Whew, sorry, I tried to pause and I couldn't get it. Some people are like, why'd you sneeze on camera? Why'd you cough on camera? I'm so disturbed. I'm not going to sleep for 3 weeks now because you sneezed, you coughed. So I tried, guys, I'm sorry. I tried to pause, I couldn't hit it. I tried to hold in the sneeze, but it is what it is. We have Four of Wands coming up here. And Four of Wands is going to be traditionally marriage, a happy home. This can be encouraging you guys that there might be some kind of reunion or get together or wedding or something that you might be invited to, and you might be saying, yeah, I don't want to go, but this could be a really defining time for you with these major arcana cards to overcome your fears or your insecurities and let yourself be there. And you may be finding that, you know, you're meeting a significant person at this event. Four of Wands can also indicate a really happy home, like a very happy, very stable home. It can even be a sense of like a homecoming. So some of you might be, those of you who are single, you may be making a decision to visit a place that feels like home, or going back to like your old town, your old city, or if you're from a different country than where you're currently living, you know, to your homeland or whatever it might be. And you may be finding yourself meeting somebody there that you're like, this is it. This is my person. Because what I feel here is a sense of like balance, a sense of balance, a sense of like, you know, energies that are complementing each other. You know, it can go either way. You can argue like cats and dogs, or you can find the ways in which, all right, okay, this is how we can have a strong relationship. You know, people don't realize that sometimes opposites can be a really good thing. When you're approaching the situation and you have good communication and you have good boundaries, and you're looking at the situation logically, and you're not looking at it as like a power struggle, you can come up with some really great agreements or really great processes, right? If you have two people who are just complete and total dreamers, that might not work. You need somebody who's going to bring in the logic to figure out how the dream can happen. You know, if they're just both like, oh, everything is magical, and, you know, everything is beer and Skittles and sunshine and rainbows, and nothing bad ever happens, and everything wonderful is going to happen, and we're just going to go, and great things are going to happen. It's not always like that. You know, that's not the world we live in. So there needs to be somebody who can come in with that logic, with that, okay, all right, let's slow down. Let's slow down, Rainbow Bright. All right, okay, I hear you, but let's look at like how we can make this happen, or how we can do this in a logical way, right? So I feel like, Sagittarius, a lot of you are feeling conflicted about a connection. You might be like, well, I don't know, they're not agreeing with me, they're not seeing things my way, I don't know if I want to be in this relationship anymore, or I don't know if I want to give this person a chance. Spirit's like saying, wait a minute, hold on, right? This can be a really good thing. You have a certain set of tools, they have a certain set of tools, you bring your tools together and you can make really magical things happen. You can create a really solid home, a really solid empire together. So don't be quick to dismiss those differences. Those differences can really give you a long-lasting and successful relationship. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign if this is none of those. Don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts as well. If you'd like a private reading, you can schedule with me at calendly.com/amethystangelite. Thanks for watching, my darlings. Take care.